Yeah, it's dark.
The moon landing happened, Jake.
Real dad shit, dog.
Don't fuck with me or I'm gonna fuck with you.
For all the emo sad girls, I want to touch bellies with this man.
In the depths of my soul, a storm rages unseen, like a teenager who's just been grounded for life. The shadows whisper secrets of sorrow, probably complaining about how they can't get a decent Wi-Fi signal. Every heartbeat echoes with the hollow sound of forgotten dreams. Dreams that probably involve never running out of eyeliner. Every breath is a sigh of resignation, mostly because I just realized I have to get up early tomorrow. The darkness is my only companion, and Netflix keeps asking if I'm still watching. In this desolate void, I find a strange comfort, like realizing your favorite band isn't as obscure as you thought. Welcome to the abyss, where the light dares not tread, and hope is but a distant memory, like my chances of finding my other sock. Welcome to Scene Labs. Jake, bro, you don't need the fucking helmet on the whole show. We get it, all right? We understand.
What?
We understand that you got your motorcycle back, and we're all happy for you. But it's going to affect the microphone, so. There you go.
Fine.
How are you, good sir?
Pretty good.
That's good. We have had technical difficulties already today, but we're not going to tell them what it was because it would take away from the magic.
Yeah, the magic. I'm tired of putting that helmet back on.
No. That was the first time. That what you heard and saw, if you're watching us on YouTube, was the only time.
Yep.
And if you're listening to the audio version of this on Spotify or Apple Music, you might want to get a visual representation of what just happened. Because
I have my motorcycle helmet on because I just got it back after 2 months.
It's a new helmet too.
It is a new helmet.
Because you destroyed your last one.
Yeah, my last one smacked a guardrail and then the ground. So
hey, better that than your head.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I've been away on vacation, is what you might call it.
How was that?
It was good. I was in Arizona and Vegas for a week, or a little less than a week.
Lots of hot snakes.
Only saw 2 snakes trying to mate, actually.
Oh.
We were interrupting their love session.
That can get dangerous.
Yeah, we fucked off. We were going up a mountain on Route 66.
You fucked off and they were fucking on?
Yes. We were driving up a mountain on Route 66, and all of a sudden we saw this van that it was pulled over on the side of the road that had California plates on it. And there was a guy out with like a professional camera taking pictures of it. So we kind of figured he saw some kind of wildlife.
Perv.
Yeah, bro. Like, what is it called? A voyeur?
He's voyeurist.
A voyeurist.
He's a snake voyeurist. It's like the opposite of a snake charmer.
Shout out Under Oath.
Oh, God.
You remember whenever like everyone was making fun of them for calling their album voyeurist? And it's like, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, it's like one step away from being a cuck.
One step away. Maybe 1.5 steps because, you know, their music had nothing to do with what the word actually means.
That's true.
Oh, man. So it's not been a full 2 weeks since we recorded, but it's been a little longer than normal.
Yeah.
It seems like we can't ever record on the same day every week because there's always something.
Yeah, there's always something going on.
Because we used to record on Thursdays, which made it really easy for us to get the new music early because it was, you know, out in New Zealand. And wait, what? No, I don't leak music. We have a lot of songs to talk about today. And it's a lot more than usual. But the first thing I want to get into real quick is we have had our first hate message written into the show. Have you gotten a chance to see that comment yet?
Yeah, I saw it.
So this comment was written by a... Pause, because I'm going to pull up the picture. I sent it to you, right?
Yeah, you said it.
Aha. This comment was written by the ever so lovely Ellie Fafael on YouTube, responding to our video about Ronnie Radke, because, you know, we got into him a little bit last week. We said that we weren't going to talk about our opinions of Ronnie Radke, and then we ended up talking about our opinions of Ronnie Radke.
Yeah, that usually happens with anytime you bring up Ronnie Radke.
So they wrote in, the worst take, You wish he would write about more important things? Bringing attention to the dangers of cancel culture and the declining state of humanity is one of the most important topics right now. Declining state of humanity. Okay. More and more people are starting to see how convoluted everything has become, except you, apparently. I think Ronnie should make more songs about the state of the world. Hell, I'd love it if he could collab with Tom McDonald. How nice of them, though, to take time out of their day to leave that comment.
Yeah, that was a lot of typing.
Yeah. There was probably some, like, they had to check their punctuation, and because it was typed out very...
How many views does that video have?
Now, I think it's like 60 or 70.
How did they even find it?
Hey, we're moving, okay? We're moving up. People like this person are finding us.
You tell two people who literally less than 100 people give a shit about.
My guess is that this person was searching up Ronnie Radke on YouTube, and they just scrolled and watched everything. My guess is also that our video was not the first video they left a pro Ronnie Radke stan comment on.
What if it is Ronnie Radke?
Burner account Ronnie Radke? Fucking pulling a Kevin Durant? Bro, okay.
You're not fooling anyone.
No, let's move on the assumption that it is Ronnie, okay? So we need to respond. We can't be talked to like this and just stay quiet.
My opinion doesn't matter that much. Even for somebody to type out a paragraph about my opinion is...
Look, man, we're in like the very early stages of our podcast. And the first time we talk about Ronnie Radke to any extent...
Hate comment.
It's like, what, 60 people have seen the video? I guarantee you one of them is going to be...
Look, you said his name too many times. Boom, hate comment.
Now, I remember texting you about this and realizing that I didn't know who Tom McDonald was. So for our listeners who may not also know who Tom McDonald is, can you give a brief?
He's a rapper, and he kind of raps about the same thing, like the current state of the world. Everything's fucked. Everything's going to shit.
Okay.
It's like constant...
Now, is he as bad as Ronnie, like about some of the shit he says and getting like, you know, because Ronnie says some pretty terrible shit sometimes.
I'd say no. I don't think
he's not a glutton for punishment.
He's not as full of himself as Ronnie is. I don't think Tom McDonald's ever called himself the best ever.
But people still don't like Tom McDonald.
Oh yeah, it's just simply because of his views.
So this person seems to like both of them.
Yeah.
And that made sense to you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that seems pretty typical. They probably coincide more often than not.
Do you think they will make a song together? Is that two artists that you can picture working together in the future?
I don't see Ronnie and him getting along for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know. I think Ronnie's too full of himself and Tom McDonald might not like it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Because mainly, not that someone commenting about Ronnie is interesting, but it was what they said. It was like, more important thing. Now, if you remember when I said that I wanted Ronnie to talk about more important things, I was talking about, you know, topics he talked about on his previous album: depression, mental health, anxiety, love, and loss. And this person says basically, that's not real world shit. Cancel culture and the declining state of humanity is.
That's real world shit. Cancel culture.
Our videographer actually sent it to me too, and I was like, don't worry, I'm on top of it. We are talking about this comment.
I mean, they're not wrong, but they went about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's like,
yes, the state of the world is declining, but everybody's talking about that. It's not a hidden fucking subject. Like,
what did you say about Franz? Is like, yeah, thank you, Captain fucking Obvious.
Yeah, thanks, Captain fucking Obvious. Yes. Everybody knows about that topic.
I wonder when people are going to realize that Ronnie Radke is not the person to carry the torch for these people. Because sure, Ronnie is anti-cancel culture. He's anti-woke, all that kind of stuff, right? But he's also just not a resilient person. He's not smart. He's not charismatic in the way he delivers his opinions. He's kind of a dumbass. But I think it, like we talked about last week, it's kind of, he knows what he's doing. He knows it's going to get clicks. He knows it's going to get views. So he's going to go about it in the most out-of-pocket fucking way.
Oh, yeah. For him, no publicity is bad publicity. So.
Right. Whenever his name is going down in the headlines, he's got to say something to get it back up.
Yeah. So you got to stay relevant somehow, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, all those metalcore bands we listened to in high school and then right afterwards that aren't around anymore, maybe that was the move.
Controversy.
Just start tweeting out racial slurs and then drop a single. It's like how to stay relevant.
Or try to have your wife killed and go to prison, then get out. So anyway, the music I listened to.
So we're going to get into it. But before we talk about the song itself, we should talk about the fact that it happened and the circumstances around it. But As I Lay Dying had actually put out a new song, and not talking about the song yet, how does it feel to be an As I Lay Dying fan?
I just try not to think about it too much.
Listen to the music.
You know my philosophy. Good song.
Oh, Jake, we're getting a fan call. The fan is calling the show for the first time.
Oh, yeah?
Hello. Thank you for calling Scene Labs. How can we help you? Are you calling in to say something to show, make a request? What's up?
Yeah, my name's John. And I was listening to your latest episode.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for the support.
Well, I wouldn't take it that far. See, there was an episode where you started talking about Knocked Loose, and I just want you to know that you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. You know, me and my co-host here, we're just not into hardcore and deathcore all that much, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's just not for me. It's not my cup of tea.
But I'm glad that you listened to the episode. Did you find something else in the episode that you liked?
Well, hang on a second, because you know what I don't understand is you know, you say, oh, it's not for me. Have y'all even looked into lyrics? Like, do you have any idea what the hardcore scene is even about?
Well, I mean, I imagine it's similar to metalcore, wouldn't you say, Jake?
Yeah, it's probably pretty similar. I mean,
No, it's not even close. Okay, and let me tell you, as somebody who knows everything there is to know about hardcore, you're wrong. Okay, and bringing stuff up like that, you shouldn't even be allowed to have a podcast. I mean, this is just outrageous.
I'm so sorry you feel that way, man. I mean, look, we talk about other bands too. We talk about really heavy bands like Honey Revenge. We talked about on the podcast.
Oh dear. Yeah. Oh God, you're those kind of guy. Okay. You know what? I mean, the fact that you would even consider that hard. I mean, it's just a disgrace to the whole scene. I mean, for you to even call it Scene Labs is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you guys don't even know.
Well, hold on a second, because we did, before you called, we were just talking about, you know, we thought it was straight garbage, but we were just talking about the new Falling in Reverse single. I think we're getting to like a Sleeping with Sirens song later in the show, right? There's something in this podcast for everyone, okay?
No, it's just offensive. Okay? You have no idea what I've been through. You have no idea what my struggle has been. And you know what got me through it? Hardcore. And then you're going to bring up Knocked Loose, one of the bands that actually helped me get through life, and just go, oh, it's not for me. Maybe do a little research before you just start spewing nonsense to the world, huh?
Sir, why don't you listen to some music with some cleans in it? You know, you might discover that you like clean singing. I mean, there's plenty of bands that sound like Knocked Loose some of the time, and then they sing sometimes. I mean, it's pretty cool stuff. It's called metalcore, if you've ever heard of it.
Yeah, a bunch of kids who are wannabes who just want to get famous off of cleans because they think it's cool and have no idea what it's like to actually struggle. No, thanks.
I don't really know what else to say to him. I take it, say something, Jake.
Everybody has, things they like. I don't like being screamed at 24/7. I like it sometimes. It's kind of a niche thing for me, but a lot of things I can't understand.
Sir, I'm going to need you to calm down. I mean, I'm really happy you're here, but like if you could just take a step back and, be, cordial with us. We love our fans and, we want to have a conversation with you.
Well, I tell you what, when you actually do the research on real music instead of this popular stuff that you guys think is so heavy, then maybe we can have a conversation, okay? Until then, I guess you can just keep spewing your nonsense, but I'm not sticking around for it.
Do you have to do research on every song that you listen to? Can you not understand the words?
I know that most of the music that you guys are talking about is just poppy, stupid stuff. Okay? What I'm talking about is real music. Something you two probably don't understand.
But do you know what he's saying if you don't pull the lyrics up?
It's a valid
Yes,
question.
I do, actually.
You speak anger?
He speaks anger?
He speaks anger. I'm not fluent.
You know, I don't appreciate the two of you laughing at me. You don't know.
No, we're laughing at each other. Like, you know, my buddy here, he's a really funny guy, and sometimes I just be giggling at the shit he says. I'm sorry. It was, you know. But, you know,
yeah.
John, I really appreciate your time, and I appreciate you calling into the show. Tell your friends about us because, you know, we can have a lot more really constructive conversations.
I don't think so. I don't think they'll be interested in anything you two have to say.
Well, our first caller of the show.
Yeah, you really got to research the lyrics. You know, arf, arf really speaks deep.
When Brian Guerra said arf, arf, I felt that shit.
It got me through tough times. Really got me out of a dark place.
So I think we should just move on.
I fucking told you.
What?
I told you not to talk about him.
Talk about who?
Ronnie Radke.
Well, that had nothing to do with Ronnie Radke.
You've called into the whole scene. Everybody's angry now.
You're saying that because I decided to talk about Ronnie Radke, that people are mad.
Everybody's angry. Everybody's going to be angry now.
Well, why don't you play in the show?
No.
So anyway, the new As I Lay Dying song entitled Burden. Or Burdens. I always forget whether the songs are plural or not.
I don't remember if it had an S or not.
Yeah, well, it was an As I Lay Dying song. We listened to it right before we started recording because, you know, it's not out yet. And I don't really feel bad about leaking an As I Lay Dying song personally. At that point, the relationship between me and that band is me. They don't really get any kickbacks from me.
Yeah, true.
But you're the As I Lay Dying fan, and we talked about it a few minutes ago. You've been listening to them for a very long time.
Yeah, it's kind of one of the bands that got me into heavier music. I bought a CD at FYE when I was 16.
Did you know our FYE in Lynchburg closed like 6 months ago? It stayed open that long.
I didn't even know if it was open that long.
It just closed, didn't it? Like 6 months ago or something like that? Because I remember I still went in there to get...
Jamie, pull it up.
we now have an extra person in the room with us that I can't help but interact with.
Well, you probably don't listen to the Joe Rogan Experience.
I do. I do.
Did you get that reference?
Yes, because he's like, hey, pull it up.
Jamie's his guy.
Do you know how bad I want that? Do you remember when we were talking about in your garage, we were talking about how we need, what did I say? We need an audio guy or an audio engineer or something like that?
Yeah, we just need somebody to pull stuff up that we're talking about so we can fact check ourselves.
We need to make it so I don't need this. 3? Really? I feel like I was just in there like a year ago.
Man, I feel like I was just in there 3 years ago.
God damn.
3 years ago.
That was in the previous podcast days.
Yeah.
As I Lay Dying, did you get something out of this song as an As I Lay Dying fan? Like something new?
No, it's not nothing new. It's another song to listen to by them that sounds like their other works.
As I Lay Dying isn't really that band that changes their sound up in between album cycles, are they?
No, not really. A lot of their music has a very similar sound. So, I mean, a new song is not bad.
No,
but it's nothing different, which is, I mean, I guess a good thing.
It makes the conversation about the song really short, though, because it's like if you've heard an As I Lay Dying song, you've heard them
all of them.
Yeah, because they're
except if you go like way, way far back. Like,
oh, you mean back before he tried to kill his wife?
Yeah, about that.
Are we not talking about that?
Before that. Yeah, if you go back far enough, it gets more hardcore. Kinda.
I do think though, like the post-prison As I Lay Dying, it's almost like you can hear the muscles a little bit more. He's less like
that man did so many burpees.
So many. So I mean, what do we think out of 5?
6.
You liked it. I mean, hey, you're an As I Lay Dying fan.
I'll give it a 3. We'll put it dead middle.
Okay. I like 3.
Yeah.
It was good song.
Good song. It's a As I Lay Dying song.
It is.
Through and through.
You're wondering what it sounds like?
All the other ones.
Every other one.
Yep.
Which is, by the way, isn't always a bad thing because Breaking Benjamin does the same thing.
Yeah.
If you hear one Breaking Benjamin song, you've heard all of them.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into a more new band. Nothing More, not really that new, actually. Nothing More featuring David from Disturbed.
Yeah.
And I didn't write down the song name because I suck. But it is the new single by Nothing More featuring David. I did not know what to expect going into this song.
I think it kind of met exactly of my expectations.
So you're not a huge Disturbed fan, right?
I used to be. Like before broadening my horizons when I was still like influenced by parents and stuff like that. I used to listen to it a lot. Now his vocals don't do it for me anymore.
Did you know how big they are still?
Oh yeah, they're still really big.
Disturbed is massive.
It's still an arena act. Like
I guess I just didn't realize how big they were because in my mind I'm like, they did the song, whatever that's fucking called. Do you know?
Down with the Sickness?
Oh yeah, that one.
Their biggest song?
Yeah, and then they covered The Sound of Silence, which was incredible. One of the best covers ever made. But I don't think I really ever listened to Disturbed other than those two songs.
I have. Especially, they were on Rock Band and...
I remember Down with the Sickness.
Guitar Hero 3, I think they had a song. That was like my first big Guitar Hero. But...
So this song, I mean, I think it was... I'm sounding like Ollie Sykes over here. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago they released their single with Eric from I Prevail, which was a banger. We both really liked that song.
Yeah, that was good.
I really liked this new one. We watched the video for it. The video was kind of... I couldn't even sit here and try to tell you what the music video was about, but it was robots falling into the sky and a bunch of Amish people. But the song itself, I really did enjoy. I liked how they gave David, like once he did his verse, he kind of sang the rest of the song and the backing vocals.
Harmonized the rest of it, which I liked that. I wasn't too big on his standalone vocals though. I don't really think it fit. I mean, it kind of fit the song because he has a similar sound.
But you like their voices better together.
Yeah. And he was singing differently than he was on his normal verse. So would you say that you like the singer of Nothing More? Yeah.
So you would have preferred the song without his verse at all and he just did backup vocals?
Maybe if he sang it differently.
Okay.
Like sang it a little higher. I think I don't know. It didn't really hit with me.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to give the song the same one we gave As I Lay Dying. I'm going to give it a 3. I actually enjoyed it.
I think I'm going to give it a 2.
So what
probably won't listen to it too much.
Does that get a good song?
It's a mid song.
Okay, well, moving on. I think we are both pretty high in this next song. It's not a scene song, and I don't want people getting mad at me again. We see what happened. Jake got upset. Okay, I'm going to talk about Post Malone and Morgan Wallen because that was a huge thing that happened. I mean, it is all over the internet, and so it's a song I liked. It's popular. Figure let's talk about it.
I liked it.
It's a great fucking song.
I like Post Malone, and I'm not too big on new country, but Morgan Wallen's all right. And
when he's not throwing bar stools.
Yeah. But I think him and Post Malone do well together. It was a good song.
See, I have a different thought than you. I wish the song was just Post Malone. Because I found myself every time Post Malone stopped singing, I was like, I just want him to keep singing. Like that style, I feel like does really well with his voice.
I don't know. I think the two of them together did pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. Like, don't get me wrong, I liked the song. I'm going to give it a high score. I'm just saying that I'm more of a Post Malone fan than a Morgan Wallen fan.
Oh, yeah. Obviously. We're not really country fans. So.
No. The music video was fine. It was cool. They were singing in the back of a Ford truck.
Yeah. Or in a bar, and then in a truck, and then,
Yeah.
As country as it gets.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I have to say about it. It was just a good Post Malone country song.
It was a good video.
Yeah.
Like,
there was nothing wrong with the video. It's just Nothing huge stood out, I guess.
It was like a good cinematic video.
I think it was cool to see Post Malone fully embrace country. Because it wasn't like a rapper in the middle of a country song. It looked like Post Malone was in his own element.
Yeah, well, he's said multiple times he's always wanted to do country. I guess he had to get big first.
Yeah.
Let's get rich first, and then I'll do country.
Yeah, let's make songs like Rockstar, Candy Paint, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then
we'll get rich. We'll get rich off the other people, and then we'll make country.
Was it you or Chad that told me the other day that he went to the same high school as Crown the Empire and tried out to be their vocalist?
I think it was Jason that said that.
Was it Jason?
Yeah.
Okay. Either way, I thought that blew my fucking mind. Can you imagine young Post Malone trying out for Crown the Empire?
Not being a vocalist.
Oh, was he not trying out to be a vocalist?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think he was trying out to play guitar.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
I think they would have figured out eventually that he should probably do vocals too.
He should probably move on to bigger things.
Yeah.
I'm going to give that song a 4. I've been listening to it on repeat.
I see your 4.
See your 4? Okay.
Yeah.
Good song.
Good song.
All right. Oh, one we didn't actually listen to. I didn't make sure you listened to this, but I'm sure you did. The new Wage War song.
Yeah.
The heaviest Wage War song that's ever been. Jake is sad. I can already see it in his eyes.
I'm sad. I'm not liking it.
So is that 3 songs now that aren't that great?
Yeah. It is heavy, yes, but like that's all it's got going for it.
Like when a band releases stuff like Stitch every once in a while.
Yeah.
Or Dark Horse.
Stitch is 100 times better than this song.
So yes, I agree with you. It's just they marketed it this way too. That's the thing. It's like, don't worry, guys, we got the heavy, and then they put out, is it called Nails?
Oh God, I don't even want to talk about Nails.
Wait, no, Nails was the one before it.
Nails was the one before
it. We didn't like that one either. It's weird that bands are conforming with the metal elitists. We talked to one of them earlier.
Yeah, trying to be heavier.
He probably really liked it.
Probably not. His voice was too low.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm still gonna listen to the Wage War album, and there's still a level of excitement there. It's just really, really diminished right now.
Yeah.
You have Cody. Fucking use him.
Right.
Like, yes, he's a good guitar player. He's a good song put together writer, composer.
Yeah.
But his vocals are what sells that band to so many people. Because his vocals and the screamer, I don't remember his name, the screamer's vocals go so well together. Now, our opinion is not law. It is an opinion, but I'm sad.
Yeah. That's kind of a letdown.
I'm going to give it a 1.25. I know this hurts. You got to be honest with the people.
1.5.
1.5, a little higher than me?
Yeah.
So, like, here's the thing, right? Here's what could change all of this. If the rest of the album sounds like Wage War.
Yeah.
And then these were just the heavy songs on the album.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're doing, what they're trying to change in their sound. What they're going for the change.
Bad song.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Gloom in the Corner. Gloom in the Corner is a metalcore band that I've been listening to for about a month. You're not very familiar with them.
Never listened to them.
But today you heard their new song. And I should have written down these song titles because I didn't realize that I needed them. No, you know what? Fuck it. You'll figure it out. So Gloom in the Corner's new song. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Gloom in the Corner.
Okay.
Gloom in the Corner is a band that has released a few EPs and then one album, I believe. They like doing these stories. Each song is a part of the story. It's a concept album. And this song carries on from the story of their previous album. Now, that means nothing to you because you've never heard the other songs.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
But what is your first impression of Gloom in the Corner from their new song?
I mean, it was all right. I would probably have to listen to it a few more times. The vocals for me are kind of hard to understand.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know why. Like I said, I'd probably have to listen to it a few more times.
Okay. I didn't notice that. And it's probably because I looked up the lyrics because that's what I do with metalcore.
Yeah, I didn't.
I don't speak angry.
Yeah, not typically.
I really liked the song. I mean, there's not much to say about it. It was a really good metalcore song to me. Music video was awesome. They clearly put a lot of budget for a smaller band into that video.
Yeah.
And I am very excited for what's to come. I'm going to give it a 3.75.
I'll give it a 3.
So, good song?
Good song.
Good song. Now, this is a band that you're a fan of again that I haven't really followed that closely, but All That Remains. They released a new song, which I don't know the name of because I didn't write it down. And it kind of brought both of us back to, 2009 or earlier?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a banger. I'm not going to lie. I've listened to it.
What is it? And I hear this calling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for all of our listeners, one of my first impressions of Jake was we were talking about music. We had probably known each other a month, but didn't really talk that much. And you had came to me and you were like, hey, so you like metal? And I was like, yeah. And you're like, listen to this song, but listen to the drums. And that was the first band you and I ever talked about.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to get with that. It's a lot of bands do the quick double pedal, but it's the way that they accentuate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because usually it's constant, or you get it in a breakdown real quick. They're just in the chorus, just
yeah. It's kind of like that Black Veil Bride song we listened to a couple weeks ago, where the drums were so prevalent in the mix, and All That Remains does that all the time.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm not a fan of their dad rock stuff though, that they've been doing the last
That's
6
true.
years.
This one's different than most of the other stuff. This is back to, like you said, the calling and all that.
Unlike As They Lay Dying, All That Remains is not a band where you can listen to one and know their catalog.
Yeah, they've got a pretty wide range.
But I think this was definitely a for the fans type of song, because I think there had been a lot of people that were like, look, man, we fuck with you. We fuck with your new music, but we need this calling again. We need whatever their other popular songs are.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
I think a lot of people didn't know he could still scream. It had been so long. He sounded great though.
Yeah.
You are possibly going to see them with Megadeth, right?
Probably am. Yeah. I'm going to take my dad.
Taking your dad?
I'll take my dad to go see Megadeth because he has always been a fan of Megadeth. He saw Megadeth back in the 90s when they were playing tiny little shows.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So is he a elder honorary scene member from back in the day?
Yeah, I guess so, because he was a skater, surfer dude.
Wore Vans?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, then he counts.
Yeah.
I might go with y'all. I haven't decided yet. I was waiting to see if you were for sure going or not.
Yeah, I still need to get the tickets. Money been a little strapped lately.
I'm going to give that song a 3.75.
I'm going to give it a 4.
Ooh,
it's
okay.
It's a good relief. Yeah.
Good song.
Good song.
We interrupt this regularly scheduled broadcast to bring you a message from the one and only Jake.
So I realized we just went a whole episode without talking about Bill Murray once. I'm ashamed, and I'm sorry. Bill Murray.
It's honestly despicable, but, we're making up for our poor decision making and we'll be better in the future. So, all right, back to it.
Starset has returned with their new song entitled
Brave New World. It's Brave New World, Aaron. Fuck.
And, oh my God, the fucking music video and song are so good.
Yeah.
That
was a good song to come out.
You've been a fan of them longer than me. You actually seen them live.
Yeah.
But I've recently been listening to their stuff. And I remember when their song My Demons came on the XM radio, because I discovered Starset's song My Demons and Motionless in White song's Reincarnate at the same time while my mom was in a store and I turned on Octane and our old Escalade.
Yeah, those are bangers. Those are both bangers.
That song was, I was hooked instantly. This new song is different from a lot of Starset's previous work. It is, and I'm not saying that they've never done it before. I'm saying I haven't been through their entire catalog, but they reintroduce heaviness to their sound, which works so well for that song in particular. And just the idea that space is horrific, What were you pulling up?
I was trying to figure out which Starset was in Forza It was Forza Horizon 4. It was Satellite.
I didn't even know that they had a song in a video game.
Yep. I thought it was in my head. I had to confirm which Forza. I play a lot of Forza. I had to confirm which one it was in.
Do you put the helmet on when you play Forza?
No. I do have a steering wheel, though.
There you go. Do you have a clutch pedal, gas pedal, brake pedal?
Yep.
Makes sense. You may as well wear the fucking helmet. So the song, what'd you think?
It was really good. They did some screamies that were not normal for them, but it sounded pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give that one.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
I think that is the best Starset song I've ever heard.
Ever.
And the reason is because I love contrast. In a rock or metal song.
True.
He didn't do the yell sing, and I was so happy he didn't. He did the soft, like it was like, you know that the vanilla pudding cups that you get from Walmart for like 25 cents.
Mm-hmm.
That's what his vocals were. That soft, perfect cleans, and then they do the scream thing.
Yeah, it turns into tapioca.
Tapioca pudding that's been sitting out a little too long.
It's all chunky.
I just like the contrast a lot.
Yeah.
And I would love to see them live. I'm jealous that you've been able to see them.
It's an experience.
So you
You just get blinded the whole time by a lot of strobes and lasers.
and you said that they're not even the show, right? The people themselves.
Yeah, no. When I saw them, they had like light up spacesuits on, and all the lighting was behind them, so you couldn't really see the front of them. It was just pretty much a light show.
That's awesome.
So,
Yeah, I'm going to give that one a 4.25 out of 5.
yeah, I'll give it a 4.
4? Okay.
Yeah.
Good song.
Good song.
Let's see. Is this the last song? It is. Yes. All right. The next song we're going to talk about is Reasons, the Devil Wears Prada version.
Oh, you know that title.
Featuring Lolo. Wait, what?
I said, you know that song name.
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't know any of the other ones.
Look, man, because the song has already been out, and then they released a different version of it.
Yeah, okay. Fair. All right.
I'm a Devil Wears Prada fan.
Yeah,
I don't
that's the only
if you could
song
tell.
name that you the only song name that you remembered.
Has nothing to do with that. But I loved this version. So for those who don't know, the song Reasons by the Devil Wears Prada was initially a EDM collaboration with Excision and someone else that I don't remember the name.
Was it Millennium?
It was not Millennium. Millennium's way too big for Prada. I Prevail, maybe.
Well, yeah, they did that.
Yeah. It was Excision and someone else, but this version was heavier. It had Lolo doing, I hope that I'm saying her name right.
I mean, that's how it's spelled.
Yeah. She does the second verse of the song, which worked perfectly with how melodic the song is. But then the difference on this album is the last EDM breakdown is not there.
Yeah.
There is a double breakdown in the most classic metalcore way. And I thought it was great. Now, you had an interesting opinion about the songs, plural.
I mean, I like the EDM version better. I mean, you said you like contrast. I like contrast too, and that's a heavy contrast.
It
So
is.
you just throw EDM in songs, and it sounds really good.
I like both songs a lot. I think that I also probably fall on I wish Lolo was in the original version because I think her cleans on the second verse would do really well with either version.
Yeah, you could even do like the hard EDM, how they do, and then move it into like a house style with her vocals. She's got a very like smooth house music.
For sure.
Yeah, kind of vocals.
I'm going to give that song a 4 out of 5. I know you're going to be lower.
Yeah, 3.
3? Still, good song.
It's not Lolo. All right, I'm gonna leave.
Whew. All right, so that's all the songs for this week. We went back because I realized we didn't do the All That Remains song or the Wage War song when they originally came out. So I was like, fuck it, let's just throw it in there. I have a topic for us to talk about that I'm sure... Actually, I think I texted it to you. Don't worry, we're not going to talk about Falling in Reverse or Ronnie Radke.
Thank God.
But we're going to talk about their drummer, Luke Holland.
Oh God.
Because
He's pretty hot.
Yeah, he. Anyway, they were doing a festival, and the pyrotechnic was not working properly. And I'm gonna put a photo up that he posted on Twitter of the experience that he was dealing with. And he also posted a drum cam video of the fire and the way the wind was blowing it, and just you could see that while he was drumming, he was uncomfortable. Because even though the fire wasn't blowing on top of him the whole time, he was getting burnt because it was way hotter than it should have been.
Still hot.
And they had to stop the set a few times to deal with the fire. And he was talking about it afterwards, and he said the whole left side of his arm, like from elbow to like wrist area, was like pretty burnt. Now, Ronnie cannot be blamed for this, unfortunately. But, you know, Luke Holland actually told him, he's like, it was metal as fuck. Like, being up there playing drums through the fire and the flames.
I was going to say, and the flames.
But yeah, check out his video. Check out his photo that he uploaded, because it's pretty fucking gnarly.
Yeah.
He actually posted a picture of a tattoo he was getting on his hand, and he's like, thankfully my hand didn't get burned. It was just the rest of my arm. But I can't imagine how hard it is to stay on beat and to consistently just keep going. Because, you know, Watch the World Burn by Falling in Reverse. Every time he goes, and it happens like 4 times, and they repeat it a few times. Every time that would happen, the flames were just... And you can see Luke, he's just like...
Sitting there trying to play Watching the World Burn.
Yeah. Yep. It's pretty gnarly, but... I love Luke Holland, even though I don't like Falling in Reverse or Ronnie. I think Luke is an amazing drummer, and this just elevates him in my mind. Because he didn't miss a beat.
Man's on fire.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yep. On fire.
But like the picture he posted on Twitter, that's what I sent to you, right? His profile picture.
Yeah.
You just see the drum kit, and it's just fire. That might have been like a split second, but bro...
That's a good profile picture.
Oh, it is. If I was him, that'd be my profile picture for the rest of my career.
Until something else terrible happens to you.
We've learned that terrible things happen when you associate yourself with Ronnie Radke.
Hate comments. Nightmare.
Phone calls that have nothing to do with Ronnie. All right. We need to talk about our concert. Because we forgot to talk about it last week. Or I went out of town and we didn't have a chance to talk about it. Either way.
Yeah, we didn't have a chance to talk about it.
So we went to see The Ghost Inside, Bleed From Within.
Yes.
Representing. And
I'm glad I didn't wear my shirt today.
Paleface Swiss and The Great American Ghost.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about you, but I was going for The Ghost Inside and Bleed Within. Bleed From Within?
Yeah.
Yeah. We had seen Bleed From Within before, open for August Burns Red. A prime example of when an opening band is better than the headliner. And we were hyped to see them again. And of course, The Ghost Inside is a legacy act. They're great.
Yep.
Drummer got no leg. Still fucking killing it. Like their story is great. But I think we got a little more than we bargained for in that show. I mean, the whole show was pretty great.
Yeah. The Great American Ghost, the
take it away.
Lead singer running into the pit.
Oh my God.
And then just bouncing around in the mosh pit while still doing the vocals.
Did he have a wireless mic, or was the wire in the crowd too?
No, he had a wireless mic.
Wireless mic. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, he was just bouncing around doing the vocals, and then he got carried by somebody.
Do you think I was going to say, I don't think that was planned.
Oh, no, that wasn't planned. I mean, also, I don't know how you do screaming while you're on your stomach being carried by somebody else.
Yeah, because isn't that where it's supposed to come from? Is the part that was being constricted?
Yeah. I mean, he did really well. He didn't miss a beat.
Nope.
But he wound up like right next to us at one point because he got pushed out the side of the pit and then went back in, and then they had a wall of death, and he was in the middle being carried by the guy. Somehow made it back to the stage. I don't know.
Fucking
that man's wild.
And that is something you can only do while you were a not popular band.
Yeah.
And not saying that they're not. I'm saying that they were definitely the lower on the totem pole of this show.
Yep. But yeah, I guess you're not trying to get, nobody's trying to grab you and fangirling over you.
No.
So you can just kind of do whatever you want.
Except if you're that one dude. Because if you look at him and you're that one dude, you're like, I should pick him up. Put him over my back.
It was definitely...
It was cool.
It was cool. Yeah.
He didn't look like he had planned that, nor did he really want that to be happening.
I think he was okay with it, though.
You think so?
Yeah. It just added to it.
So, yeah, I mean, they were great. I loved Great American Ghost. I would definitely go see them again, and their lead singer is wild.
Yeah. And Bleed From Within kind of, they did similar to what we saw them do last time. He gets up in the crowd and kind of like half crowd surfs and does his last song. Always cool.
Dude, Bleed From Within is that bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I love that band so much. And he didn't call us cunts this time.
Yeah. Disappointed.
Not disappointed. Just like, you know.
I enjoy being called a cunt.
We're fucking disappointed, okay?
And that,
but
that
man,
accent, the best Scottish accent.
Get the fuck. Oh, no, I can't do it. Do it. Do your best Scottish accent.
I don't want to butcher it.
You cunts. That's not it.
Yeah, you butchered it. Yeah. I don't want to do that.
Since I'm done disrespecting the man, I bought a shirt. It turns out the Scottish make good shirts.
Yeah, it's a good shirt.
It's a good shirt.
I bought the same exact shirt. I didn't know.
The same one as me?
Yeah.
I thought oh no, Jason bought the cool one.
Yeah, I bought that one.
Okay.
And the signed poster that will eventually be in the background somewhere. I got to get it framed.
Whenever we decide what our permanent background is.
Yeah.
At this point, I feel like this is kind of our summer area and your garage is our winter area.
That's fair.
Because heaters are cheap.
Yes.
Air conditioning is not.
It's not cheap.
Bleed From Within was absolutely killed it. And once again, my favorite song was Levitate. That song is so good.
Yeah, and it's really good live.
I was thinking about it though, and I don't remember if I said anything to you about it, but I would love to see them do a headline show in Scotland.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Because their crowds are a lot bigger there. I've looked up videos and stuff. Insane.
Mm.
The Scottish don't fuck around. But yeah, what was the last song called? Do you remember? The End of All We Know? Is that what it is?
Yes.
That song is also really good. Perfect last song of the set.
Yeah, that was a really good ender.
Now, there was a band that played next that you and I were not going for, but our buddy was.
Yeah, I mean...
Paleface Swiss.
It was a good show. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was good too.
Yeah.
I don't think I would listen to Paleface in my car. And see, this is another prime example of why
I haven't listened to them a lot. I kind of liked it for the show though. His vocals are really cool. Like it's a lot of like the real quick, like rapping kind of.
Like if you're trying to throw down.
Yeah.
I feel like and this is another prime example of why the metal elitists don't like me. It's just, I will say, I think I'm going back and forth here. I'm sorry. My brain is like bouncing a rubber ball, but I think that they're one of those bands that I don't typically enjoy their sound, but the back half of their set at that show sounded very different from one another. Whereas the first half of their set kind of sounded like one song and then they changed it up.
Yeah, I did notice that. It was kind of a run-on sentence of a performance.
Yeah. That's a very good way to describe it.
Because I'm not familiar with them, I couldn't really tell where one ended and the next started. Because they kind of just went into it. They didn't like break between.
Yeah, they were cool though.
Yeah.
He was a very good like front man of a band.
And his mesh shirt.
And we didn't his what? Oh yeah.
The mesh
I do say when I first saw him, I was like, no way. That's not him.
Yeah. Blonde dyed, like frosted tips and mesh shirt.
Not what I was expecting, but it was great. Ghost Inside, amazing. I mean, they always perform really well. Did we see them at Blue Ridge? I think we did.
Yeah, I think that I don't remember much of Blue
Ridge. You know what? No. We saw them at the Blue Ridge you weren't there for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it was like one of their first shows back after their accident. I'm not a huge like Ghost Inside fan. Like I don't listen to them all the time, but like when I do listen to them, I really enjoy it.
Yeah, their new album's really good.
It is.
I like that album.
We didn't talk about it. We were going to, but I guess neither one of us got around to listening to it.
I've listened to bits and pieces of it as it's been thrown into my daily mixes.
Did you notice that this was their first album without Jeremy McKinnon on board? Like he was not a part of the album making process.
It did have a different sound to it. I'll give it that. I'm not going to say it's better or worse, but it is slightly different.
I'm not saying it's better or worse either. When I first heard all their old stuff, I'm like, yeah, you can definitely hear Jeremy McKinnon was a part of this. And then on the new album, it's pretty obvious he wasn't. It was just different.
Good album, though.
Very good album. Good album. I'll listen to it a few more times and figure out if we should do like a review of it or something like that.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to bring up to you today was something I read on Twitter. And do you remember a few weeks ago when we were talking about the Kendrick versus Drake beef?
Yeah.
So I thought this was so funny. This is a text exchange between Tom Hanks and his son.
Uh-huh.
And Tom Hanks says, this is real. Like this was posted by, his name is Chet Hanks.
Oh, yeah.
He posted this on Twitter or Instagram or wherever and said, Big Maine, can you explain the Drake-Kendrick Lamar feud to me? So I figured I'll read it on the podcast. And so anyone that was wondering can get the idea through Mini Hanks. You know what? I think you should read it.
Okay.
You can read this better.
All right. Big Maine, can you explain the Drake-Kendrick Lamar feud to me? Yeah, so Drake and this other dude, J. Cole, been saying they, along with Kendrick, are the big three in rap. Then Kendrick put out a song saying, fuck the big three, it's just Big Me, initiating the beef. Then Drake was like, you got small feet because you're like 5'5" or whatever. And then Kendrick was like, you're a deadbeat dad, and made fun of his Canadian accent. So Drake came back and was like, oh yeah, well, I heard you beat your wife. But literally like 30 seconds later, Kendrick put out a diss overshadowing Drake's diss. Oh boy, hang on. There it is. Overshadowing Drake's diss, where he pretty much methodically dismantled Drake's entire psyche and called him a pedophile for flirting with young girls and revealing Drake had another kid that he was hiding from the world, which turned out to be false. Drake came back and was like, haha, I got your ass. I had people give you false info to make you look stupid, but it didn't even matter because then Kendrick just dropped another West Coast banger where he really went in on labeling Drake as a pedophile. That was pretty much the sonic equivalent of when you took me to your high school in Oakland and we walked in on the basketball game and everybody started going nuts. Like if you heard it, you would just automatically know how to crip walk with a stank face while clutching an Oscar in each hand with Marshawn Lynch. And then dap him up, tell him town business, which solidified the win not only for Kendrick, but for the entire West Coast. Holy cow, these are fighting words. People taking sides? Who's
that was
winning?
Tom Hanks' reply.
Yeah, Tom Hanks' reply. Holy cow. That doesn't fit with the rest of it. These are fighting words. People taking sides? Who's winning? Did you not just read what I said?
The funniest part
Kendrick
of this...
dropped I have listened to these songs.
Oh,
actually.
have you?
Oh, yeah. Kendrick did drop a West Coast banger.
Oh.
And it's a vibe.
I got the vibe that Kendrick won. And Drake's just being clowned on at this point.
Yeah, and then you got the whole BBL Drizzy song that Metro put out. That was funny.
I just thought that this would be a great way to cover it on the show.
The fact that
Tom Hanks was curious.
I was going to say another thing about that is Metro putting out his version of a diss to Drake. He put out this instrumental on SoundCloud for free with no
licensing.
No licensing, nothing for anybody.
So
to
anyone
use
could use it.
and make their own diss to Drake.
Oh my. Oh my god. So is it still going on?
Yeah, kinda.
Is Kendrick still dropping songs, or is he kind of bowed out?
It's not going on like nobody. I don't think anybody has dropped a diss in a while after Kendrick's. I think Drake is kind of backing off.
I would.
It's like, what? No, I'm not a pedophile. No,
Bro,
don't say that.
That was
you don't say that.
That was the funniest part, right? Because it was like, I heard the songs briefly on my flight to Vegas, but didn't Kendrick say something about Drake being a pedophile? And then Drake's response was, I didn't fuck with Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
Like no one had brought Millie Bobby Brown up until Drake did.
Well, that was like after everybody was calling him a pedophile. Everybody was posting pictures with him with younger people. And there's a lot of them with Millie Bobby Brown.
Have you seen the video of him with that girl on stage?
Mm-mm.
There was a video that surfaced of Drake on stage with a girl. And, you know, he invited her on stage, like, come up, whatever. And she hugged him. And while they're hugging, he goes, how old are you? And she goes, I'm 17. And he's like, oh, shit, nah. I'm too famous to go to prison. Those breasts feel really nice, though. And it is a real video of something that happened at a concert.
Mm.
So it sounds to me like Kendrick ain't just blowing smoke.
In the words of Kendrick Lamar, pedophile.
Oh, Kendrick also revoked his N-word license, right?
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Oh, we could do a whole episode just going through every song of this beef.
It's pretty funny. It's hilarious.
Is Drake done? Do you think that this has...
No, it's not going to end his career. I think he lost, though.
You don't think this is going to affect his reputation going forward, though, with how much publicity this got?
No, the songs he puts out are still going to get listened to, regardless.
I
don't think you can do anything unless you actually like convict him and send him to jail.
Another part of this that I wanted to bring up was Drake said in a song, he's like, I can't be a pedophile. I'm too famous. Something like, because he's too famous, he would have been caught. And that shit was funny.
So, meanwhile, in the metalcore scene,
meanwhile, Epstein existed.
Yeah.
And all those motherfuckers.
You're never too famous. What?
Well, you know, Drake,
you're still a pedophile.
That's his defense, is I'm too famous to be a pedophile.
That's not how this works.
Or the whole Kendrick calling Drake out for being a pedophile, and then Drake was like, oh yeah? Well, I heard you were a victim of being whatever, some bad things done. It's like, what kind of response is that? It was like, oh yeah, he's a pedophile. Here's some things to back it up. Oh yeah? Well, I heard you got touched as a kid, or whatever the fuck.
Like all the ones that you've been touching.
It's funny, and it's very obvious that Kendrick has taken that shit.
Yeah. Drake's not really a battle rapper.
No, I don't get the sense that he is. And we don't talk about, you know, at this point, I need to stop saying we don't talk about X, Y, and Z. We're going to talk about pretty much anything.
Yeah.
So we now talk about rap when it's relevant.
Sure.
You gonna talk about Billie Eilish's album?
No.
That's a scene podcast.
Okay, let me ask you a
She's
question.
alternative.
Billie Eilish is alternative? So, like, do you know what alternative means?
Yeah, like Fall Out Boy and the Photographs on Nickelback. Is that who that is?
So, I'm not making fun of you. I'm genuinely curious. Do you think that Billie Eilish is too popular to be considered alternative? Or does that not matter?
I don't think it matters. I don't think I'd call hers. I mean, she's popular, but not like. I wouldn't call it alternative.
See, here's the thing. If I liked the Billie Eilish album, we'd talk about it.
She's closer to like indie stuff, which doesn't fit into that either.
I feel like, fuck it, where this is on the podcast now, I feel like Billie Eilish is making indie music popular.
Yeah.
Because let's say 15 years ago when Jason Derulo was like the biggest pop artist in the world, that sound was indie. Billie Eilish's current sound.
True. Yeah, it got popular, so like technically you can't call it indie anymore.
I also just feel like we're not the people.
No.
We're not the ones.
Nope.
You want to hear our opinions about the Billie Eilish album? I'm sorry. It's just whatever we say will not be right, and we will get shitted on because
you just got to get your sister on the podcast, and then you could do the Billie Eilish, and she can just explain it to you.
Explain Billie Eilish to me. Oh,
and go.
So this is a good topic. So when we were at my dad's, because we were visiting my dad in Arizona, and there was one night where me and my sister were sitting, we paired our phones to his YouTube, and we were showing him the music we listened to. Now, my dad is very much so like old country, bluegrass, old rock, like Boston, and it's artists like that, right?
Yes.
So we took turns showing him our music. And the first artist that my sister showed my dad was Billie Eilish. And my dad had no fucking idea what was going on. He was so confused. So I'm like, all right, I'm winning this. And I put on a Paramore song. Now, the Paramore video I put on was for their song Monsters, which was on the Transformers soundtrack in 2010, 2009, whatever. And the opening part of the video is her laying in the water, like floating on top of the water singing. So my dad's response to this was pretty funny because what he said was, "Why is that dead girl floating in the water singing?" So I was just like, man, Billy didn't work. Okay, Paramore. And then I think I played him like some other stuff and he just didn't get it.
It's all just going over his head. It's not what he's used to hearing.
Your dad with music sounds like he was a little bit more.
Oh yeah, he's way more open to different music.
I'll go to that Megadeth concert with you guys and just be like, man, I love my dad, but this would have been cool too. Nah, just playing. My dad was cool in other ways. He just didn't like metal music. But yeah, I think that's really all we have this week. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Not really.
All right. Excited to put that helmet back on?
Yep.
Ride the streets? What song are you going to listen to on the way home?
I don't know yet. We'll see what it throws at me.
Oh, yeah. Well, on Scene Labs, Spotify, TikTok, look us up, have some fun, and we'll be back next week. Bye. I'm fucking pissed.
It's alright, man. It's just one hate comment.
Why do we get hate?
One.
We just started.
I didn't think anybody even watched the video.
I didn't think that just because we talked about Ronnie Radke that we were going to have a slew of hate.
Stop saying his name.
Fuck.
Quit saying the name.
I'm sorry. Do you think we'll make it? Do you think we'll still? Can we see? Can we see in the building?
I don't know.